Good evening, mayors and members of the council. I'm excited to bring you the October 2020 progress report. As many of you know, we do have an event here coming up in the next few days. It is Halloween. As staff, we have been putting out messaging to while still being able to enjoy this year's festivities. As you'll see in the PowerPoint before you, there are a number of options from carving and decorating pumpkins, doing some scavenger hunts with members of your household, having a movie night, doing virtual costume contests, and frankly, I'm sure folks are a lot more creative and can find even more ideas than these. We do want to always remember and encourage you to help stop the spread while enjoying the festivities. Disinfect high-touch areas, wash your hands, social distance, wear a mask, and perhaps most importantly, stay home if you're not feeling well. We've had some exciting news recently on the interchange that continues to progress. On October 19th, we hit the significant milestone of releasing the environmental assessment and a subsequent presentation. The presentation describes the purpose of the project, the environmental impacts of the roadway and interchange layout alternatives. It provides a recommended alternative and shows intersection improvements on 22nd Avenue. There are a number of other resources available, including the Section 4F property and de minimis impact memo. That mostly relates to the bike trail. It talks about how the temporary impacts will be to the bike trail. It involves restricted use and detours. You'll notice the submit a comment button there. We would encourage you to do so by November 19th to make your voice heard on any feedback you may have on this project. As far as next steps go, the design work continues. There's been a lot of praise and support of our city engineer, Jackie Lanning, tonight, and she is certainly working diligently and doing a fantastic job on this project. As we get into the month of November, they are going to continue to have landowner meetings regarding right-of-way. We'll have the 60% design review cost estimate as well. As folks will remember, it was just September when we were at 30%, so the project is certainly progressing quickly at this point. From a higher level standpoint, we'll be looking to bid the project in September of 2021, and then construction of the actual interchange is planned for 2022 into 2023. Bob Shelden Renovation, we had heard the change order earlier today from our Parks Director, Dusty. So far, there's been significant progress made. Unfortunately, there's some white stuff that's covering up, so we can't see all the beautiful synthetic turf and things that are out there. But to date, we have the synthetic turf in, the outfield sod has been put in, we have the irrigation systems, fencing, and stormwater improvements. They are continuing to work in terms of installing the grandstands. They are paving the parking lot this year and installing those stormwater permeable pavers that will help with stormwater flow in the area. We do expect substantial completion of this project in November of 2020, yet this upcoming month. The final work will be done in spring of 2021 to include minor dirt work, seeding, and punch list items. Once we get into that spring season, staff will put together a ribbon cutting as well as other tours and public engagement opportunities to enjoy this wonderful facility that we're all excited to bring back on board for the community of Brookings. We have the Brookings Marathon. It was held on September 12th. It was rescheduled from May. This is a Boston Marathon qualifying event, which is quite special. We did originally have over 300 registrants, but we did end up with 119 participants. We did include some COVID safety measures to include staggered intervals. Another change for this year was we included the Dakota Nature Park, and there was significant positive feedback in terms of the COVID safety protocols, as well as including the nature park to show off another great amenity for this community. I did include the fastest time was about 2 hours and 24 minutes, which is astounding to me as a non-runner. Mr. Wendell, maybe that was your time. On October 14th, the Activity Center did reopen. The hours are 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and they've also resumed 60-plus dining from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays as well. I do want to reiterate they have included a number of COVID-19 safety protocols to include social distancing and masks, hand sanitizer, no coffee or snacks, sanitizing of chairs and high-touch areas regularly. Moriarty Park Pond and Drainage. This is a project that has taken place over the course of this summer. It is substantially complete at this point. As a recap, this involved storm sewer connections in that area, but the main attraction is that dry pond that you see there pictured in the center. There's a number of benefits of this project. It reduces the downflow streams, which are primarily in the Windermere neighborhood. It reduces the overland water flow between the houses on 17th Avenue. And then we do get the benefit of that dry pond, which is a green infrastructure improvement. We're improving our water quality through infiltration, which reduces pollution as well as sedimentation. 20th Street South, this is a fantastic drone picture that shows the progress of that project there. It is substantially complete as well. In full disclosure, the completion was originally October 2020 when I put this slide together, but again, we've had some weather that pushed us back a little bit there. And at current, they are finalizing the punch list. As a recap, this was a 2-year project, so we finished it this year. It actually started last year. It is on 20th Street South from Main Avenue all the way west to Rio Grande. It involved road reconstruction, storm sewer improvements, utility upgrades, and streetlights, as well as that shared youth path that you can see pictured here. Great project and multi-year to put behind us. Our annual overlay project is also underway. Again, was anticipated to be finished up this month, but again, weather pushed us back just a week or two to finish yet this year. We had a number of streets that we were doing. In the lower left, it pictures and shows all of those. Thus far, we've completed 2nd Street, 10th Street, West 7th Ave, as well as Yorkshire. The only one is Faculty Drive for the rest of this year's project. Concrete maintenance is also underway. A number of those projects have been completed there within. There is some to go, and it is anticipated to be completed yet this month as well. Swiftel Center has continued to host events as safely as possibly during COVID-19. All of the events that they have are hosted in accordance with the Swiftel Center's health safety program, which is available on their website for more information. Some of the events that they've held as of late were the Poker Run in September, had over 700 registered riders. The South Dakota Pink Ladies Dart Tournament that's pictured here on your screen was a 3-day event and had over 400 participants. This year, the Swiftel Center is making a little bit of a change. They would typically do your Tough Enough to Wear Pink shirts to benefit breast cancer. Given COVID-19 and different circumstances, they're actually going to partner with the Brookings Health system and promote online donations to benefit that cause as opposed to doing t-shirts this year. The last item is a bit of a follow-up. As some may recall, the city of Brookings purchased our first hybrid police squads, and we've now had those in action for a little bit. The early results have been quite impressive. In some cases, we've seen an increase of 300% in our miles per gallon in terms of fuel economy. Our standard squad averages in that 8 to 10 range. These hybrid squads are in that 20 to 24 range. One of the things I would note there is that we see the greatest increase in efficiency during idling time. These vehicles actually shut off if they're not needing the power to power electronics and different devices in the squad. So we're seeing the significant savings there. The vehicle only turns back on when it needs to power air conditioner, heater, or potentially some of the equipment in the squad itself. With that being said, these are great results, but as staff, we're always taking a comprehensive view, so fuel efficiency is certainly a significant part of the equation. But we'll also want to monitor the maintenance need and the overall performance of these vehicles going forward. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
Necessarily have a question, and instead I have a comment to make. I think in the midst of a pretty remarkable year that we're living through, I want to commend staff for really pushing certain important projects and initiatives forward. And I think there are certain strategic projects that we came into the spring and summer really fearing would be halted in their tracks. And I think about the Bob Shelden project and the Armory project now that we're able to move forward on. I think those are the types of projects that have been able to advance because staff have remained dedicated. But I also think perhaps they're more important now than ever. They're an investment in public works. And in particular, when we can rely on local vendors and our local workforce to do meaningful projects that are necessary, that we pre-budgeted for, that we're able to pull off in this time. I commend staff for keeping the projects forward, and I think it's reassuring to see those types of developments continue to move forward in our community in an unprecedented year, and I think it's a good continued investment in our community. Thank you.
Great.